The Council on American Islamic Relations is joining the National Muslim COVID-19 Task Force in promoting coronavirus best practices during this holy time of Ramadan. Main representatives tell us this includes avoiding congregational prayers in mosques. Ramadan is the month on the Islamic lunar calendar during which Muslims abstain from things like food and drink from the break of dawn to sunset.
This story starts by introducing the National Muslim Coronavirus Task Force, but immediately pulls away from that subject and never returns to it. It is easy to see why, because the task force is an embarrassment to any and all who portray CAIR and their friends as benign and peaceful. Let's look at the task force members, starting with CAIR. CAIR is an unindicted co-conspirator in the Holy Land Foundation trial. The Department of Justice wrote that CAIR was part of an ongoing and ultimately unlawful conspiracy, a conspiracy from which CAIR never withdrew. A federal judge wrote in a 2008 decision that there was ample evidence connecting CAIR to Hamas. He then went on to discuss some of the evidence in the trial, including the 1993 Philadelphia meeting. This was a meeting of senior Hamas leaders in this country secretly recorded by the FBI and entered into evidence during the Holy Land Foundation trial. The current leader of CAIR, Nihad Awad, attended and led this meeting, where he said one of the goals of the group should be explaining the legality of Hamas. Judge Solis also said there was ample evidence of Hamas's connection to the Islamic Association for Palestine. At the time Nihad Awad attended the 93 meeting, he worked for the Islamic Association for Palestine, which was a Hamas front group. Awad left this group in 1994 to form CAIR. 10 years later, a jury found the Islamic Association for Palestine liable in the Hamas drive-by assassination of David Boyne. Rather than pay the $156 million awarded to the Boyne family, the IAP shut down, only to return as the American Muslims for Palestine. The leadership of the American Muslims for Palestine is identical to the Islamic Association for Palestine, and a judge has given the Boyne family the green light to pursue their case against the American Muslims for Palestine. CAIR works with the American Muslims for Palestine. They are both part of the U.S. Council of Muslim Organizations, the Muslim Brotherhood political party. ISNA. The Islamic Association of North America is a spin-off of the Muslim Students Association, the original Muslim Brotherhood group in America. Judge Solis said the Islamic Society of North America also had connections to Hamas. They are an unindicted co-conspirator in the Holy Land Foundation trial. And the Hamas-supporting Holy Land Foundation ran their operation out of ISNA with the Plainfield address on their stationery. IMANA. ISNA is an umbrella group with several members, including the Islamic Medical Association of North America. IMANA is also included in the explanatory memorandum as one of the friendly organizations that would help with the Civilization Jihad project. IMANA is also part of the Federation of Islamic Medical Associations. Abdul Majid Khatami is a Muslim physician and FIMA member. He was in 2 different news stories defending unsanitary practices by Muslim health workers. The Fiqh Council of North America is also part of ISNA. The notorious Musamil Siddiqui was past president of ISNA and the FCNA. Here he is saber-rattling over Palestine.
We want our government to stop feeding the Israeli war machinery. We want to awaken the conscience of America. We want to awaken the conscience of America. America has to learn that. Because if you remain on the side of injustice, the wrath of God will come. Please, all Americans, do you remember that? That Allah is watching everyone. God is watching everyone. If you continue doing injustice and tolerate.
FCNA member Suheb Webb is also a member
I love CAIR, man.
of the Muslim American Society. The Muslim American Society is the Muslim Brotherhood in America as reported in this Chicago Tribune article. It was an MAS school that had children singing songs about chopping heads.
The Muslim American Society says it is investigating a video that shows children reciting a violent poem in Arabic last month at a Philadelphia Islamic center. We are blurring the children's faces. According to a translation, they say, quoting, "We will defend Palestine with our bodies. We will chop off their heads," end quote.
MGAGE's Michigan director, Nadia Al-Hanoudi, is the daughter of former CAIR Michigan Executive Director Nathana Hanoudi, who was sentenced to 1 year in jail for attempting to buy oil from Saddam Hussein's Iraq while it was under sanctions. Hanoudi is son of Mohammed al-Hanoudi, a prominent Muslim Brotherhood leader. Mohammed al-Hanoudi attended the 1993 Philadelphia meeting. He was also the former imam at the Dar al-Hijra Mosque and a leader in the Fiqh Council of North America. In 2019, Nadia Al-Hanoudi reminded us that Muslims are victims of 9/11 too.
Tonight, a pastor preaching prejudice as we approach the 18th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. One local church is marking the solemn day with what some are calling a hate event. 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell live outside the Bloomfield Hills Baptist Church tonight with more on this. Kim?
Yes, this is a pastor who has made headlines before. He has called himself a proud Islamophobe and said he is against even interfaith dialogue. Some in Congress and in state legislature are calling for the cancellation of this event. This is a picture of an online notice inviting people to an event titled 9/11 Forgotten. Is Michigan surrendering to Islam? It is a 2-day event that starts on 9/11. It's happening here at the Bloomfield Hills Baptist Church, where a man named Donald McKay is pastor. The self-described proud Islamophobe makes posts on what he calls the dangers of Islam on Facebook.
That terrorizing speech creates terrorists.
Nada Al-Hanoudi is executive director of Engage Michigan, a group that aims to make Muslim voices heard. She fears the pastor will inspire an attack on Muslims. She says it's offensive that organizers of the event at Bloomfield Hills Baptist Church on Telegraph are holding this on 9/11.
Muslims died in 9/11. Muslims and people of color are grieving just the way as the mainstream white American is. This is a catastrophe that happened and impacted our families, our lives as well. So we're here grieving with they want a homogeneous society, but that's not going to happen.
Israel banned Islamic Relief for financing Hamas. And although Islamic Relief spent a lot of money to repair their reputation, occasionally the mask falls, as happened recently when an IR event featured the notorious Abdel Kafi. And here's what he's like.
هذه التمثيلية الممجوجة التي تحدث للمسلمين في مشرق الأرض ومغربها هي الجزء الثاني من الفيلم الهزلي 11 من سبتمبر. الجزء الثاني، ولكن هناك كان في نيويورك، هذه المرة الجزء الثاني في باريس. نحن كمسلمين لم نقتل 100 مليون هندي أحمر في أمريكا الشمالية، هم الذين قتلوا، ولم نقتل 50 مليون هندي أحمر في أمريكا الجنوبية وهم السكان الأصليون. لم نقتل 60 مليونا في الحربين العالميتين الأولى والثانية. نحن لم نقتل، لم يحدث منا هذا. نحن المسلمين دين المرحمة ودين الرحمة، ونبينا نبي الرحمة صلى الله عليه وسلم. سبحان الله. نحن لم نستعبد 188 مليون أفريقي، ما حدث منا هذا. نحن لم نلقي 80% من الأفارقة في المحيط الأطلسي أيام ترحيلهم إلى العالم الجديد، وكانت 49 باخرة تملكها الملكة الجدة لبريطانيا، وكانت تتاجر في هذه كل رأس أفريقي ب$2. كل واحد أفريقي تبيعه ب$2، وعلى كل باخرة يسلسل هؤلاء الأفارقة من مواطنهم الأصلية، وعلى كل باخرة قس من القساوسة يرتب عليهم سماحة السيد المسيح وسماحة يسوع. وأي سماحة يسوع في أن يساق الإنسان حرا من قريته أو بلدته، أن يصير عدا عند الأسياد حتى الستينات القرن الماضي، وكان يكتب في المحلات: لا يدخل إلى هذا المحل السود أو الكلاب. أحبتي في الله، نحن الذين علمنا الناس وعلمنا العالم الرحمة، ونبينا نبي الرحمة صلى الله عليه وسلم. وسوف تتكشفون وتتكشف لكم الحقائق قريبا أن هذه تمثيلية هزلية لا ناقة لها.
The Syrian American Medical Society's president is a former board member of the Mosque Foundation. The Mosque Foundation, or Bridgeview Mosque, is a Brotherhood-controlled mosque that they stole from the original founders. It has become a nest of Hamas activity, and its imam is an unindicted co-conspirator in the Holy Land Foundation trial. The Islamic Circle of North America. The Islamic Circle of North America was formed by the followers of Abu Ala Maududi, the founder of Jamaat-e-Islami. One of ICNA's leaders is Ashrafuz Zaman Khan, who in 1971 was convicted in absentia by the International War Crimes Tribunal for killing 18 Bengali intellectuals. As for Maududi himself, he writes in his well-known book, Towards an Understanding of the Quran, the purpose for which the Muslims are required to fight is to put an end to the sovereignty and supremacy of the unbelievers so that the latter are unable to rule over men. There is a National Muslims Coronavirus Task Force and an anti-black racism task force.
Out there. As you all know, CAIR is currently, we have established a task force on anti-black racism. We are harnessing.
But there is no National Muslim Anti-Violent Muslim Task Force. And that should tell you everything you need to know about the Council on American Islamic Relations.